Once upon a time, there were two brothers who walked to school every day past the pit bull. Now, not every pit bull is a mean, vicious dog, but this one was. The only problem worse than the pit bull, though, was the walk around the property. The place where the pit bull lived was this absurdly shaped property that the kids who walked to school had to go all the way up and then all the way back. And it would seem so much simpler if they could just cut across the yard. And in fact, lots of kids did. They would look to see the dog, and if he was inside, they assumed he was asleep, and they grabbed their backpacks and they ran across the yard, and most of them were just fine. And one day, the little brother tried. He was walking with his big brother towards the house, and he was too tired to walk around. And so he said, "I'll be fine." He looked twice for the dog, didn't see him, and started to run. But 3 steps into the yard, and he heard it. He froze in his tracks and turned and saw the teeth bearing at him as the dog barreled towards him. He didn't have time to move. He was too frozen in panic, and the dog jumped until his brother pushed him out of the way. His brother gave his arm to the dog, and it clamped down on his flesh and ripped back and forth. "Run," the older brother said. And the little guy did. He scurried as fast as he could to the other side of the property and turned around and watched his brother bleed. Sometimes following Jesus seems like a long walk, doesn't it? To take the shortcut that so many other people do, it seems practical, and it seems like there's no consequence to do it. It happens when you come home after a long day and you don't really want to listen, and you think if you just try to make someone else understand what you're feeling, instead of patiently understanding what they're feeling, things will get better faster. But the truth is, sometimes the shortcut doesn't work. Sometimes sin blows up on us. Sometimes we get bit. But that's why we love Jesus. Like that big brother, Jesus pushed us out of the way before sin and death could devour us. Jesus was willing to be pierced. He was willing to bleed in our place to prove his love. And that's what changes our mind about the shortcuts. Instead of getting lured into sin, instead we trust God even when it feels like the long way around. That's what happened to that little brother. Months later, the two brothers walked towards the same house on the same way to school. But this time they stopped before the edge of the property. The older brother put his arm around his little brother's shoulders and winked. "Let's take the long way today." And when the little brother looked at the scars, the proof of his older brother's love, he knew that all his big brother wanted was what was best. I know sin seems like a shortcut that will work, but remember Jesus, your big brother. Look at the scars on his hands. Remember the one who bled for you, and trust will exist in your heart. And you'll believe that Jesus is not keeping something from you. He wants to keep you from something. He wants to bless you. So don't get lured. Take the long way around, and just remember Jesus' love. As believers, we are called to go to all nations to make disciples for Jesus Christ. And today you can help make that happen with your gift to translate Time of Grace resources into a variety of languages. When you support these efforts, you're helping people like Kim, a teenager in the Philippines who wrote in to say, "You've helped me to grow in my faith, and your videos have pushed me to fight for my love for God despite the many temptations in this world. I hope you realize how important your videos are for teenagers like me. When you give today, your donation will be worth twice as much because of a $50,000 challenge grant. As thanks for your generosity, we'll send you our encouraging new book, Grief Doesn't Have the Last Word."